Hello, welcome back to another Life Chats video. I'm Jennifer Mata-McMahon. In this video I wanted to share with you a little bit of an update of what's going on with the move and what's going on with the trip that we recently took this past weekend to Baltimore, to the Maryland area, and just sort of update you on where we're at. So let's get into it. So, I'm a little stressed. It's because we went to Baltimore. We flew into Baltimore last weekend. I went into a meeting for work and it was great. People there are great. That meeting really solidified for me that this is going to be a great move. At least so far, so good. And I was able to see my office. They actually gave me a key to my office and meet with the people that I'm going to work with closely in my program, discuss courses, set out the courses that I'll be teaching next year, both in the fall and the spring, and sort of brainstorm what those courses are going to look like and what I can do with them, and where do I have more academic freedom and where do I have to follow more the syllabus that's already in place, and so on. So, and also sort of get to know the lay of the land in terms of what the program is like and all this and that. So really exciting stuff. I also got to briefly meet with the center director, the research center that I'm going to be working for as well, and they're in the process of moving, so I got to see a little bit of that as well, and get to like roam around the university sort of on my own and get to see it from different perspectives and sort of navigate the parking situation, which I was told was a little bit of a nightmare, and indeed it is. It's a little bit difficult to park and close to the building that you're going to. In any case, it was a really good, positive experience work-wise. Funny enough, I finished my meetings and went to the car that I had rented, and as soon as I get there I check my messages and I had a call from a place here in Chicago offering me an interview for a position, and I'm like, really? I'm sitting there with the keys to my office in my hand, right, and listening to this phone call or this phone message saying that, oh, they finally were able to set up interviews and they're interested in me and they wanted to call me and whatnot, and call me like right now. If you can call me back today, that'd be great. I'm like, after I've been waiting months, I applied to that position, I don't even remember when, maybe in January or last year, I don't know. They finally called for the interview. It was funny. It felt like a test, right? It felt like, do you really want this? Do you really want to move? Is this, like it made me rethink a little bit, and but I no, it reassured me that I really wanted this academic position, because the job that they were calling me for is not an academic position. It's still in education, it's still in early childhood education, but it's not an academic position. And so it kind of helped me reassure that I do want an academic position. I still want it. I was so excited for everything that I'll be doing next year, that I don't think that this job that they were calling me for would get me that excited, right? So it reassured it. But it was a little bit of a fresh air kind of thing to know that there are positions in Chicago that would want to interview me, because I was sort of feeling that Chicago had written me off. Like I think I've applied to these positions and tried to stay here and nothing. And so this was a little bit of a, oh wait, they might want me after all. Too late, but it still feels good to be wanted or to be called or to be, interested in. to have people be interested in me, professionally. So that was that. The next day, Michael arrived that Friday night, really late at night, and the next day, Saturday, we spent the entire day looking at places, both to rent and to buy. We came out of that experience thinking, okay, no, there isn't anything to buy that would be worth not renting. So I have this mentality that renting is throwing out your money, because if you're buying and you're paying a mortgage, a monthly payment for a mortgage, even if the bulk of it is interest and little of it goes to principal, at least you're putting something into principal. And at the end of the day, you sell that house and you recover your money, whatever you invested into it, right? If the value of the property doesn't go down. If the value of the property stays the same or even goes up, if it goes up, you can even make a profit out of it, right? So I was thinking, even if we would need to move or sell that house or rent that house out in a couple of years, when Mike knows where he's moving, and that location might not be the best for us and we need to move closer to his work, if it's farther away, that's the main reason why we're not buying, because we don't know where Mike is going to work. So location-wise, what is his commute going to be looking like is what we're thinking, right? So that's why we're thinking, no, we rent close to where I'm going to be working, because I'm the one who's going to be living there first. And then when Mike moves and finds a job, and then we'll start searching for a house to buy and have that house be located equidistant from both of our jobs. So that's the plan, right? That's the ideal situation. But in the meantime, we rent, right? And again, to me, renting is like throwing out your money. And so I was thinking, if we buy a house, my dad, who is my financial advisor, did this financial exercise for me, where he compared the money that would be spent in rent versus the money that would be spent in buying a property, in a certain range that we thought, because of what I was looking at, that we thought that we could buy a place. Well, it turns out that the houses that I was looking at that were within that range are, one, in a neighborhood that was far away from the university, and two, in not a very good neighborhood. So I didn't really like that area where this house was located, or these houses. There were several. There were like 6 or 7 houses that I had found in this like little area, and that also raises a flag, like why are there so many houses being sold here, right? It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. So in any case, we didn't like that neighborhood, so we quickly declined viewing more houses in that place. And we thought, okay, well then we can't buy a house, because it would take us to the step above, which we could afford if that was our forever house and we didn't have to sell it. If not, I don't know that it makes sense to buy a house at that price point to have to sell it in a couple of years, because it's not going to be, it might not be our forever home. So it's a gamble there to do it. So it's better to just rent. And plus, Mike has it in his head that he wants to rent, right? So the rentals that we saw, not that great. Apartments, and I don't want to live in an apartment. I am like done with the apartment life. We live in a condo in Chicago, so we own our apartment, but it's still a building. So I have people above me and people below me, and the people above me, the floors creak because the insulation in this building sucks, and the floors creak and you hear everything that happens in the apartments adjacent to ours. So I'm a little bit done with the condo apartment living, so I don't want to rent an apartment. So I was looking at townhomes and houses and like single family houses, detached, but we have several specifications, right? So we have dogs, so it has to be a pet friendly rental. And we would love to have a backyard fenced in for the dogs to be able to go out and we need 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, like it needs to be a bigger place. And the bigger the place gets, obviously the more expensive it gets. And the more expensive it gets, in my mind, it's more money that we're throwing out the window because it's a rental, right? So it's been a little complicated to find the right place. A part of me wants to rent just a 2-bedroom apartment in the city so I can have city life and have it be not that expensive. Although there's some apartments that are in really great neighborhoods or really great buildings smack in the middle of the city. That would give me that life, but they're expensive because of that, because they're newly renovated buildings, or they're just buildings in the city. And when you look towards the downtown area, the more expensive it gets in terms of rentals. And the other aspect of that is that I'll be far away from the dogs, because I'll be far away when I'm at work, which is like a 30-minute commute from downtown. I would be far away from the dogs, not meaning that I would have to rush home to let them out or rush home to walk them, because that's another thing. There's no backyard in an apartment, obviously, so I would have to walk them and be sure that I make it home in time for them to go out, for them to not have accidents. So that's one of the issues with downtown. So I'm looking also, I'm also looking really close by to the university, which is in the suburbs outside Baltimore City. And there it gets a little tricky, because there are some places that are suburban, nice neighborhoods, and some places that seem like rural, like you're in the sticks, like there's a farm next to you with horses or things like that, right? So I don't know. We saw one place that we thought it was, okay, this is going to be it, even though it's out in the sticks, but it's close to the university. It's a big enough place. It has access to the outside, so even though it doesn't have a fenced-in backyard, I have access to outside with the dogs. But it's a townhome, so it's not a single-family detached house. But there are issues there with the landlord in terms of, I wanted it to be painted because it's dirty, and they don't want to paint it unless I get a 2-year lease, which I don't want to get. So I think that place is out, which was our sort of more solid option. So now it's back to square one to look for places. And yesterday and today I've been looking, and I have about three options. One of them is an apartment in the city. One of them is a townhouse close to where we saw this townhome, but it doesn't have, it has an outlet outside, it just doesn't have a basement. And then I just saw a house, a detached single-family house that's a little farther away from the university, but it's still in the same neighborhood. That I think might work, and it's pet-friendly. All of these three places are all pet-friendly. They have to be, right? There's another place that I also emailed the owners because they're not pet-friendly, and asking them if they could budge on that. And the realtor that had found us the first townhome also called me this morning and said she had another place that might work for us, another townhome that might work for us. So there's about 4 options available, and now we just have to hone in on one. So I think we're making progress there, although I am stressed about it until it's not a done deal. I think I will be stressed about it. Can you hear the walking? Can you hear the creaking? See, this is why I don't want to live in an apartment anymore. So we're almost there, and once I have that lease signed, I'll be ready to breathe easily. I have to also schedule the move. So once I know when I can, where I'm moving to, I'll schedule the move to arrive around the same time when I'll be arriving. So that's another thing that I need to figure out is we were planning on driving over so that I could drive my car there and take both of the dogs, drive the cars, the dogs and myself there. And Mike was going to drive us there and sort of drop us there, get us settled, and then fly back. So we have to coordinate that so that we're there by the time the move gets there and the apartment is available, or the whatever is available for us to move into. Yeah, so that's where we are. The logistics, I feel like there's a lot of balls up in the air, and eventually we'll catch one, and that will be the right one for us. And after that first ball is caught, I think the other ones are going to fall into place in terms of coordinating the move, figuring out what I'm taking. That's another thing that's stressing me out, is this move is not easy or it's not straightforward, because it's not, okay, pack everything, we're leaving, right? We have to leave this place empty. No, it's Mike is going to stay here. And so that means that we need to pick and choose what is it that he's going to keep here and what is it that I'm going to take with. And then for the things that are going to be missing, who's going to buy whatever is missing to make up for, we have only one couch, we have only one dining table, we have, rugs, area rugs, that who's going to keep those and who's going to take those. And so, and what's going to happen afterwards. We merged. Mike used to live in the suburbs and I lived in the city, and when we got married, when we got engaged and then married, we merged, right? So Mike moved, got rid of a lot of his stuff because he lived in a house, and merged with me and came in to live in my condo. And that means that still we have duplicates of some things, like we have 4 TVs and we only use 2, and 2 are in storage. So we have duplicates of some things, but we don't have duplicates of everything, because we did purge and got rid of a lot of things when we were merging. So, but now we're gonna split up again and have 2 homes again. And so now it's like thinking, okay, well, do we want to buy whatever's missing, or do we want to hold off and kind of live without it until we merge again, because we're going to merge again eventually. So it's tricky. It's tricky, and I am stressed, and I am trying to also work on top of all this. I have a paper that I want to finish. I have a certification I have to study for. I take a test that I want to finish. I have another certification that I want to look into before I leave Illinois. And I have other things, a conference that I want to apply to. I now know the courses I'm going to teach, and I could start prepping for those courses. I have a ton of things to do work-wise, and I feel like my head isn't in it, because until I don't have where I'm moving to set, I feel like it's really hard for me to focus on writing a paper, on play, and it's a topic I love, but I have to get in the right mind frame to do so, and I'm not there right now. So it's been a little bit hard. And the other thing that it's been a little bit expensive too, because, for example, these places that the townhome that we were almost going to rent and that fell through is around the $2,000 mark monthly rent, right? And then they want a deposit, they want the first month's rent, and then they want a dog deposit, and some of these places even have dog rent. So on top of your rent, you're paying rent for the dogs, and we have 2. So it's 2 dog deposits, 2 dog rents on top of everything. And that all, the first month there's a big bulk of money that has to be given in for this. So it's expensive, and some of it is going to be returned, some of the deposits are going to be returned, but some are not. But some is just rent, and money that is just given. And some places don't return the dog deposit, for example, which seems weird to me. Anyway, I'm on a no buy. No buy July. For the month of July, I decided I wasn't going to buy anything. It's tricky because the month of July is our anniversary and it's Mike's birthday. So I definitely have to buy gifts. So I'm going to buy Mike a gift for his birthday, and I'm going to buy him a gift for our anniversary. I already got my gift for the anniversary from Mike because we bought it in June. So yeah, so I am going to buy those gifts, but I'm on a no buy for myself. So I am waiting for a couple things to get here that I bought in June. That I bought some things from Elf, and Elf takes forever to deliver. It's been 2 weeks. It's supposed to come today, but it's been 2 weeks today, so we'll see if it does come today. And then I bought some things through eBay from China that takes a long time to get here. That's fine, and they'll get here whenever they get here. But other than that, which was purchased in June, I haven't bought anything. I'm really proud of myself. I have a list of things makeup wise that I want to buy, because makeup is like my weakness. I always want to buy something, and there's so many new releases and things that look so great. And there are a couple of palettes that are on my radar that are coming out, that have not been out yet, that are coming out I think the end of July or the beginning of August. And we'll see if in August I'll purchase those and I'll share them with you. But for now, no buy is in place. So I haven't bought anything that is not, food and toiletries and home supplies or gifts for Mike. Other than that, I haven't bought anything. Yay! I'm so excited because it's almost mid-July and I've stuck with it. I started the year off with a no-buy too, and I wasn't that successful. I did January was good, but February and March, by mid-February I started purchasing, and March was like a joke. I bought anything I wanted. So, but I'm glad I'm doing a no-buy July, especially because there's so many expenses right now. And this is a month that I'm in between paychecks because I finished working my old job on June 30th, and I don't start my new job until August in terms of paychecks. And so, yeah. We'll see what happens with that, but I just wanted to let you know that's why there haven't been makeup purchases because of that, because I'm gonna no buy July. Okay, well that's it. That's my update so far. That's where I am. I just wanted to share that with you in this life chats and get you abreast of where we are with the move and the job and everything that's happening right now in our lives. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you again soon. Bye.